I ain't saying a dang word up until I get somebody that's fixing to come up in here and say hello. Now you just wait. Just one rock picking minute. You trying to tell me in the middle of April? Now, boy, howdy, that's just right around the corner. What part of Cebu you be coming to? Nick, Cordoba. My friend lives in Cordoba. You might know him. His name's Ben. It ain't nothing but a thing. I've been hanging out here in Cordoba for a minute. Hanging out with my bro. Y'all know him. Y'all know him. He had that other channel, Philippines Extremes. I said, man, I want to go. I want to go to Cebu, and I want to meet that. I want to meet that mofo. I'm from the South. You know what I'm saying? And 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 we roll a little bit different. He's from the West Coast, but there's just something about that brother. He's got a little bit of flavor. You know what I'm saying? So I got up here and I said, yo, man, let's go hang out. So I hung out with him, man, and boy, howdy, he was all right. He was all right. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should be liking his videos and subscribing to his channels. I think he's got like 3 or 4 channels now. Right about now. Boy, howdy. I used to get high. I still do. Something like that. Mitch Hedberg. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to get high. I still do, but I used to too. Boy, howdy. Yo, got to work with what you got. When you got the curly locks, you got to show them off. A lot of people be saying I should be shaving my head like our buddy Ben, but that fool's follically challenged. I tell you what, though, it's so hot up in here. It's tempting to want to shave these locks off, but it take a long time to grow this. You know what I'm saying? I had some guy chasing me down the street with some clippers the other day, and I said, "Now you just wait here one rock picking minute. I ain't fixing to shave this hair." Yeah, man. He almost caught me too. But you know what I did? I jumped on the back of one of them tricycles and I got up on top of it and I surfed it. I surfed it like I was doing, you know, a barrel roll up in there like it. Huh? Oh, don't be playing up in here either. This is some serious business. Yo, yo, yo. Watch old Ben's vids. Hit the like button. Subscribe to his channel. Ben had to step out for a minute. Went down the road to get himself some of them chitlins, some Adidas feet. He likes them chicken feet. He dips it up in all that sauce and slurps them down. It's pretty gnarly, man. You don't want to witness it. Believe me. He keeps it pretty private. That's why he don't ever post about it. Boy, howdy. He wanted me to wear this mask. He said people will think you're me because of your teeth. Everybody knows your teeth. But see, we went to the same dentist. He hooked me up, you know what I'm saying? But I told him, I said, ain't no way anybody's gonna mistake mistake you for me. It's impossible. I told him I was going to do a live stream, and he said, man, you ain't got no content. You ain't got nothing to say. I said, man, I could talk about the Philippines. I said, they just come up here and they ask me a lot of questions. I'll answer them their dang questions. I said, wait just a rock picking minute here, boy. Just wait, just a rock picking minute here, boy. I can answer all them questions. And he said they ain't gonna ask you any questions. They're just gonna think you're some kind of weirdo. I said, well, damn right, boy, howdy, I am a weirdo. I think Ben had a little bit of an issue with the financing. That's where I come in. See? That's where I come in. I'm the silent backer, you know, but we can't be talking about that right now. We was thinking about maybe pulling up on some Harleys. Getting some Harleys up in here in the Philippines and doing it up right. But again, I don't know much about it. You know, he keeps his personal business kind of private. You know what I'm saying? But I think maybe he did have an issue with some financing. He'll get it figured out. He already got 2 jobs lined up already. I don't know. People be wanting that for some reason. I said, just wait. Just wait a rock picking minute here. Boy, howdy. Then what other thing we might be doing is we're gonna start ourselves a 3-man band. We're gonna sing old show tunes. There's always a market for old show tunes, man. Except he only know how to play the harp. And I can't play anything. I just spit the bars. I don't know, I ain't never heard that fool sing. He don't seem like the type. Maybe we oughta force him to do it, sing a couple bars here and there. Shoot. Boy, howdy, you never know, man. Looks can be deceiving. Sometimes you never know what one fool can do over another fool. Back in 1933, when I was hanging out in Germany, man, I knew this cat, and he was as big as a whale. I mean, as big as a whale. Just wait a rock picking minute here. I told you, I'm getting to it. So back in 1933, when I was hanging out in Germany, one of my good friends, he never told me what his name was, but he had this little mustache here. Turned out that fool could dance a jig better than any Southern man I ever knew. Shoot, I got out of there though, because he had some weird views. I hightailed it over to England, started hanging out with this old fella named Churchill. You might know him. Man, that dude could drink. Tame my seizure right up. That's one thing I can't be revealing is my name. My name is a little bit on the down low right now. I think maybe one of these days Ben might reveal it when he gets back. He's got to go suck on them chicken feet right quick. You know, suck on them chicken feet, and then he'll probably be back on here in a good 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Shoot. Boy, howdy. Huh? What'd you say? I just waited one rock pick minute. Just wait one rock pick minute. I'll be right. We got a little disturbance here. Let me go see if I can write this right quick. Man, what are you doing? You going on my channel? Dude, that ain't even cool. I keep it serious up in here. I don't know what you think you're doing. I got some serious viewers. You probably lost some subscribers for me, fool. Man, go sit over there. Maang Adlaw, como esta? This is Ben from Ben and Cebu. What's up, suckers? How y'all doing tonight? Woo! We got nothing going on, so we figured we should just probably come on and go live, see what's up. You guys see that frickin' Vitaly freak? What that dude is doing, man? What an idiot. I mean, seriously, if you watch that dude dancing around and doing all his funky crap, he seems like a teenager, like a 12-year-old or something. And the comedy is like rudimentary. It's not even funny. I think they should. I think they should put him in the jail for a minute, let him sweat it out, and feel what the Philippines can really do to a fool if they act out, and then maybe let him go. But that's some crazy, crazy stuff. And I think there's a potential for that to kind of mess it up, muddle up to gum up the works, for other vloggers here in the Philippines. I think that they're gonna I don't know. You never know. They might pass some legislation or something like that to make it tougher for people, that are vlogging, make it a little bit more strict. But I don't really know. Of course, we don't know. I hope not. I hope just they should slap him on the wrist so some other fools don't come over here and do that crap. It's just stupid. Asking some security guard if you can put a banana up his booty. I mean, whatever, dude. It's not even like slapstick comedy or nothing. It's not. It's just low brow. I ain't down with all that noise. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so what's up, everybody? How's things going around the Philippines where y'all are at? I think we kind of moved out of the rainy season. It was raining a lot, and then all of a sudden it ain't raining anymore. It's been hot as Hades. Hot as Hades in here, man. Because Mitch was cool. Bring him back on. Man. He's pretty cool, but he's got some issues, man. I think he's on I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I think he's off his meds. He needs to go adjust his doses. Go see his doc. They need to up that Ritalin or whatever the hell he's on. I know for sure. I got some stuff coming up though in my life. But like somebody was asking me on one of my videos recently, one of my boring videos, about it seems like I'm holding back. It's not that I'm holding back on what I'm doing. I just don't like to be a crap talker, and then have everything fall through. I kind of already did that with something that I was gonna try. And tried to get some financing for the rides, and my wife just doesn't have all the credentials. So they wanted more info. We submitted it, and they said that our finance our proof of finances was sufficient, but they didn't really trust because she'd never had any kind of accounts before, no credit. So when I was here back in 2014, I did it with this other chick, and they did it for us, but maybe they learned their lesson through other people who defaulted or something. But yeah, it was much more stringent this time around. But I have other things in the works. So once I get that visa, I'm gonna be making some good content. I don't know. I'm not really good at executing content, so I don't know how good it'll be, but it's gonna be relatively unique because I don't see anybody else doing it. So it's gonna take me. It sucks because it's gonna take me at least another maybe 2.5 months before I can actually do anything. Because I don't want to jump the gun and have it not be legal. So I want to make sure that I got all my papers, in a row before I do it all. So, but for sure, everything's going to change for me as far as my income is gonna be steady and guaranteed and more. You know, say goodbye to say goodbye to that 500 a month nonsense, man. I mean, you can do it, and I've done it, and I've done it a lot of months. But you know, if I don't have to do it, I'm not gonna do it, man. I need to eat some steak. You know what I'm saying? I need some steak and some mushrooms every now and then, and you know, some specialty kind of foods that I haven't been eating, and I want to fire up some aircon. This place has aircon, but it doesn't have Freon in it. So if I wanted to fire it up, I'd have to get some Freon in it and figure out a way to seal these windows a little bit better. But as soon as I you know, get some more cheddar in my pocket, I'm gonna live a little bit more westernized. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel that I honestly don't feel like I've been shortchanging myself, but I would like to have the ability to like hop on a ferry and go see a different area, you know, and stay in a hotel and do that kind of stuff and travel around a little bit and vlog that way. Um, that's something I haven't done. So once I get those things in order, I'll be able to do that, you know, here and there. So that'll be good. That'll be good. But I got a couple good buddies that can use me um, in their endeavors, and so I'm gonna let them use me. And don't think we're talking about, you know, the limp wristed kind of usage. You know, I ain't no booty bandit. So no, but seriously, that'll be so much better. And it's gonna come, and I just have to be patient and, you know, go through the waiting and wait and watch the calendar and check the internet and, oh, did it come through today, you know, and all that crap, and then I'll get it and everything will be better. So that'll be good. I'm kind of excited about it, but I have to be super patient because it's going to take a while. But I had to go and do that NBI clearance, and that's kind of the it's not the longest process of it, but it's a pretty long process. Like, they text you when it comes through, but they said don't expect it for at least 3 weeks and sometimes 4. So in the meantime, which it's fine, I can still gather all the other crap that I need. But that's gonna be, you know, I'll probably be done gathering everything and still not have the MBI. But then, you know, I can submit it, and then once I submit it, then um, you know, I've even heard of some people getting it in 2 weeks, but that's pretty rare. The average is 2 to 3 months. So I got to hang on for that long, which I can do. You know, I can definitely do that. So, but then my budget's gonna be like, I don't know, like 1,200 to start, which you know, is if I live off of what I've been living, 1,200 to make me feel rich. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna move. I love my situation. I got the G-man here, I call him. He's my neighbor slash landlord slash best buddy, and and oh yeah, sorry, hey, sorry, John. What's up, man? Hello, and I hope everything's going well. Um, no, but you know, my income's gonna increase, but I'm not gonna move from here. I'm just gonna make it more comfortable living here, is all. And all I got to do to make it more comfortable is fire up that aircon, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. You can adjust somewhat to it, but I mean, I go out, you know, outside and come back in here, and you know, I'm going outside and walking around in the hot sun, which is already hot, and I'm sweating, and then I come back in here, and the hot sun's been beating down on the place all day, and it's hotter in here than it is outside. So you know, what I do is I just throw water all over myself and I sit in front of the fan. And then when I dry out, I just do it again. I do that all damn day. So I'm getting sick of that. I don't want to do that anymore. So I need to get some climate control. You know what I'm saying? Control my climate. Yeah, word. That's what I need. Yo, John, you missed my buddy earlier. He was up in here, and we can't name names yet. We can't name his name because we don't want to. He's got some stuff going on that he's got to clear his name a little bit before we put his name out there. What's up, man? I didn't watch your live the other day, but you were saying you were fixing on eating a balut if you got 400 subs. I ate a balut when I first got here. 1650 running 1 AC. Dude, my electric bill is 1650 and I'm just running a ceiling fan and a regular fan. I wonder what you're paying a kilowatt. Yeah. The weather's hot. It's freaking hot here, bro. But have you haven't eaten a balut? I didn't really follow along with what it was. I ate a balut here on my old channel, thinking, oh, that'll be like good. I'll get good views for that. And I did the whole duck embryo crap, and I ate it, and I think I have to go back and look at it because this channel's still up. But I think I got like 50 views and I ate the damn balut. But I expected it to be like really, really gnarly, and it really wasn't. It was just kind of like some scrambled eggs have been setting out, and you and you walk by the pan and there's a little chunk of egg that's been sitting out there for a couple hours and you pop it in your mouth. That's kind of what a balut reminded me of. But yeah, I think I'm paying 16 a kilowatt. And that, if you're running 1 AC and it was only 1650 for you, that's pretty sweet, man. I wish I could do that. I think maybe it's probably more expensive here in Cebu than it is where you're at, which I won't name your locale in case you're an incognito, like my buddy is over there. He already fell asleep. He's already passed out over there. He can't handle the time differential from the States to here. He just got off the plane the other day. I had to go pick him up on my bicycle. He rode in the basket on the front. He's got that dang hair, flopping around. I couldn't even see half the time. Drive me crazy. I'm trying to get some subs, man. I've been stuck at 144 for 7 dang days. And I posted a video. What was that video? That it wasn't my April Fool's one. It was the one before that. And I had 145 subscribers, and I lost 10 subscribers from that video. Never seen that before in my life. And all my YouTube, I literally, the video says minus 10 subscribers to that video. That's never happened to me before. I don't know if they smell my breath or they sniff my armpits or something, man. But yeah, dude, that was whack. You can't get people to stay in the chat. Yeah, no, I mean, people just pop in and pop out, and a lot of times you'll get this group of people from I don't know where they're from, but they just come in and they troll, and they'll be like, say my name, or they'll say say this one word for me. Just say this one word for me. And then if you do that, then the other people will be like chiming in, like, say this word for me, say this word for me, and they're just trolling. Um, but yeah, I mean, when you're small like this, your live streams are gonna be boring, and you're just gonna be doing all this talking, you know, like especially when you first come on, man. That's why I like Calvin, watching Calvin, man, because he just rocks it out like immediately. It's just hopping in there. And there's some other people that sometimes I'll tune into. Um, they're not real huge, but they got a steady stream of regulars, you know, and there's always a combo going, you know, about something. That's more fun, man, when people are engaging. That's why I like it on the comments. Like when I had a bigger audience, I get a lot of not a lot of comments like some people, but I a lot more comments, and especially if they start arguing or something, then you know it was more engaging. That was more fun. So I'd spend a lot of time, you know, fill up my free time just, you know, doing the YouTube, you know, responding to comments and all that noise. It kept me busy. Maybe she's cute or something. And that I ain't cute, so ain't nobody gonna just, you know, clamor onto me like a dang magnet or something. 9? 9 pesos a kilowatt? Wow, dude. That's super low. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's low, but compared to here, that's super dang low. 67 years old. Wow, man, that's a huge difference. 9 pesos. That's pretty cool, man. Can't beat that. Especially compare it to the freaking states. So she's 67 years old, but she blew up that fast. That's cool. Well, you know, there's this guy that I found on actually in Sunshine Shoulders um, comment section. He made some comments, and I was like, "Who's this dude, man? He seems pretty sharp." And I clicked up on his, and he had 200 and some odd subscribers. And then just the other day, he posted a video. I noticed his sub count's already up to 1,001. So, um, and I think he's got pretty good content. I like him. His name's what is his name? I even saw Beach of Life commenting there the other day, so he knows who I'm talking about. It's Blizzard Abroad. Yeah, he's cool. He had a cool video the other day that kind of really let me think, and I always like that when people uh, make me think. You know. Um, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Um, it's crazy. I think I'm kind of like shadow banned or something. I don't know because I was talking to this other dude who was passing through, and I forget what his channel's called. He was really talkative, but he showed me his channel. He's got 37,000 subs, and he was showing me his analytics, and you know some of his videos had like 15, 20,000 views, but his click through rate was like 6%, and his retention time was like 4 minutes or something. Mine have been in the 20s. Like my impression click through rate. That's the last video that I got up there. The impressions and click through rate is 20%, and the watch time is 6 minutes. So people are making it 6 minutes into it, and I only got like 60 views. And so I was saying to him like, you know, I don't get it. I guess you know there's something up, and he's like, man, you're probably shadow banned, you know, because I make a lot of comments on Rogan, and you know all these other things, and I'm pretty fringe, you know, and my beliefs are kind of, you know, not of the status quo. So maybe they don't like me right now. I don't know, but that's as far as I know, that's relatively high. I remember when I read about it a couple months back. They were saying a 3 to 5% click through rate is high, and I got 21% on that stupid April Fool's video, and it only got 50 views or something. And then on the one below it, that one's 8% click through rate, which is higher than the average. You know, they say a high click through rate is whatever I just said, 5% or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's relatively high, but I don't know why I'm not getting the views. So it's just because YouTube's not pushing it for some reason. Because the retention rate, because when I was reading about it, because I was curious, and they said, well, if you've got high impressions, then your retention time is probably low, but it actually wasn't and isn't. 66% of people watched all the way through um, that stupid April Fool's joke, and um, and 43% watched the video below it. The when I was wearing the um, or the thumbnail where I made myself a bum, that one. So I got a lot of click through rate, high click through rate, but they're just not promoting it, or it's not going up, you know, on the algorithm. People are clicking on it when they see it, but how many people are they showing it to, you know? Um, yeah, no, it's good numbers. I think it's the thumbnail, uh, especially like some of the thumbnails haven't been too bad lately. I'm no good at it. I'm not consistent about any of it. Some I might get lucky and do a good thumbnail every now and then, but but yeah, man, I would love to hear any ideas. I'm open to all of them. I'm gonna do a video about me and why I want to raise kid here, um, stuff like that. But my upcoming in a couple few months is gonna I'm gonna shift away from trying to do like a lot of advice stuff, because I'm just I can't spin it like a lot of people. I can't keep the train of thought, like, well, not a lot of people, but Calvin in particular, man, especially when he's been in the States, and a lot of people were saying he looked depressed, but I think he hit a stride, man. Like, I could literally, I watched a video, and then I ended up watching it again, all the way through front to end. And I got a lot of criticism, man, from this. There's this group of people that people don't really know about. They call themselves the Illuminati, so they're trying to sound like the Illuminati or something like that. But they're all these trolls. Um, they're all these trolls, and they just go around and they they criticize people, all the bigger ones. And so this dude posted an anti-Calvin video, and I said, oh, Calvin's all right. I know him, which I don't really know him, but I've talked to him a few times over the years, and of course you don't really know somebody when you do that, right? But I know him more than they do, I'm sure, and he's always been good to me, always said nice things to me, and brought me on his channel when I was first starting out on my other channel. And always been good to me, so I don't have anything bad to say about him. And I think he has some good things to say. Although I didn't like his video about where he's getting on politics. I don't agree with that take on it. To me, I you know I don't I'm not a Trumpster or whatever you call it. I'm not a lefty or anything. To me, I think it's all just, well, my famous saying is same shit, different piles, but I don't like to use profanity. I got kids in the house, so I got to keep it clean. But I don't know what the heck's going on, and I don't care, man. That's the thing about it. I'm here in the Philippines, and I used to be really involved in that stuff. I mean, really involved in it. Like, I worked for an organization called Osberg for a while when I was young, and we were political kind of activists. And I used to go down and protest. It's funny in the old days, um, when we were the punks and we all wore black, but then they started calling us Antifa and crap. Or after I got out of that, the people who would wear the similar kind of gear that we wore, they said they were Antifa. And it all confused me, man, because back then we were the anarchists. That's what they called us before, anarchists, right? Oh man, I just said all these words. I'm gonna get flagged for sure. Um, oh well, who cares? I'm not monetized anyway, so who cares? What about doing an interview with the other lady in the truck? Dude, man, I would love to talk to her again. She's cool, right? She was fun. But she, I didn't have, it's a long story, but I don't got load on my phone because I bought this phone in Manila when I got robbed. And for some reason, I can't load it down here in Cebu. I got to get a whole new SIM card and all this crap, but I've set up all my verification onto this SIM card, so I don't want to do it all over again. So it's kind of a drag. So I told her, because people can call me, I just can't call them. So I said, call me and then call me right back. So the other morning, my phone rings at 4 a.m. 4 a.m., man. And I go to bed at like 3:30 sometimes. Sometimes I'm even up at 4 a.m., but I had just happened to pass out. And I hear my phone ringing, and I'm like, what the heck? And I answer it, and she's like, she's calling me Van, like V-A-N. Van, is that you, Van? And I'm like, what the? I just hung up on her, man. I'm going back to bed. But I think because she wants me to go around on her fish truck. Man, that chick, she's got a lot of pans in the fryer. She does a lot of stuff. She's got 4 different rental properties. She's running a fish truck and a food truck. And you know, she told me she clears 6,000 peso profit a day. Profit. Selling fish. 6,000 pesos a day selling fish. But she goes all around. And she told me that she starts early. So I think she was calling me. She didn't set it up or nothing. She just called me all of a sudden. She was going to come pick me up at 4 a.m. to go sell some fish? I don't know. No, but she's cool. She's cool. And I would love to go out and vlog and sell the fish with her. But she's got to plan it better, man. She can't call me up at 4 a.m. without even talking to me first. That was kind of weird. But she still doesn't know what the channel is because she texted me. That's right, and I can't text her back. And she said, "Your channel is Van V-A-N in the Philippines." I can't find it. Well, of course you can't find it because that's not right. I told her I said like Benjamin, Ben, B-E-N, but you know. There's this language barrier, man. I mean, even Filipinos, you know, they speak good English. Doesn't matter, man. We still have that barrier that hangs us up. Like the other day, I probably told this before. It wasn't the other day. It was a couple months ago. They sell these beans here. They're called mungo, and I like them, right? You know, they're almost like a superfood. They got all these different a complex bunch of different vitamins, and it's good protein and low fat and all that. They're the mungo beans, or you know, in the States they call them, I think they call them mung beans, right? But I know they call them mungo here. So I go to the store. Yeah, they're great, right? So I go to the store, and I know they sell them there because I bought them there. But it was her mother, right? It was her mother that I bought them from. So then the younger girl was working, and I said, "Yeah, can I have a little bag of those mungo beans?" And she's like, "What?" I said, "Oh, mungo beans. You know, the little green bean things." So she goes back and she gets me some plastic package of peas, and I'm like, "No, I don't want those. I want the mungo beans." And she's like, I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I'm like, dang, man, what am I saying it wrong? I'm thinking I brain farted or something like that. So I pull up my phone, and I look up and I get a picture, and it's a packet of beans, just like they do in the Philippines. They put like I think it's a quarter kilo or something in a little thing. And I show her a picture of these ones, and she's looking at it. She goes, I don't know what those are. I'm sorry, I don't know what they are. I said they're mungo beans. I bought them here before, and she's like, I don't know, we don't have them. I'm like, okay. So then I walk away, and she's like, hey, 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 do you mean these? And she pulls out the exact same thing that I had in a picture, that I showed her in the picture. She said, these are called mongo beans. But she enunciated like the N a little bit different than me. And so she didn't, I wasn't saying it right evidently, but I just said mungo bean. But the way she said it, she put more emphasis on one of the syllables than I did. And that right there, threw it off. I'm just trying to buy some dang mungo beans, man. And that happens a lot. That happens a lot with simple crap. The trike guys, they'll see me and they'll say ride, because I don't have a bike or anything, so I'm walking, and I'm either walking or taking a trike, and so I learned you can say maglakaw, and that means I'm walking, or you say lakaw. But they'll drive by me and I'll say, no, I'll say dili lakaw, and they'll stop and they'll go, right? I'll go, no, dili lakaw, and they'll say, you want ride skina? Skina means the street or whatever, main road, and so I come home and I'm like, Lily, did I say lakaw wrong? No, lakaw. But it's just the way that I say it evidently is just a little bit different than the way they do. And even when I try to use their words, a lot of times they still don't get it. A lot of times, there's definitely a language barrier. I mean, literally, like a couple months back, I was sick, and we have a little store that G-Man here rents he's got another apartment, but he rents it out as a sorry store to this. It's the number one sorry store in the whole neighborhood. It's always busy, always hopping, best prices in the whole barangay, so everybody comes to it. Whereas they'll sell a liter of water right next door for 25. They actually come and buy their water from him for 20, and then they make 5 pesos per bottle off of him. Anyways, so I always go down to it, but I was sick, right? I had a cold and all this stuff, and I kept going down there, buy itlog eggs and some Too Big or whatever we needed. And I go, man, I'm going to get him sick. I know it because I keep giving him my money. And I had this big, long conversation how, clerks in grocery stores, they get sick all the time because they're handling people's money and they're coughing on them. And I had this big, long conversation with Lily. And anyways, long story short, the next day I said, I don't know, he's probably going to get sick. And I had another conversation about it. And then the third day, I went down there and he was sick as a dog. And I came back up here and I said to her, yep, he got sick. I knew it. And she's like, who? I said, Jameson downstairs. I told you I was probably going to get him sick. Who? What do you mean? You didn't tell me that. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I did. I told you that for like 3 days, right? And so then we went through the whole thing, and she's like, oh, I thought you were talking about some customer down there or something. And it was really weird, Now, that crap happens all the time. All the time. So, people say, oh, the Philippines, speaks a lot of good English, and they do, especially if you're a tourist and you're just coming through and you're not integrating yourself and you're not, learning the dynamics of your environment and everything. You'll find that it can be tough, and in some things, but it's not like tough, like, oh, it's a detriment or anything. It's just kind of funny, but sometimes it does get a little bit frustrating, especially if you're here like a long time, like I have been, and it happens, one after the next, after the next, after the next. By the time I get home, I feel like my brain is scrambled sometimes, and then I come to her and I try to tell her about it, And I'm just going, and you just know what that means. It means like, what the hell is he saying to me? Right? So, well, I mean, whatever. I already been through this before, so I know it. When I lived here before, same thing. Um, but it's just part of it. And I know, yeah, nosebleed. Um, I know if I knew the dialect better, and I can't even say that I know it. If I knew how to speak Bisaya, then a lot of that would wane, and it wouldn't be an issue. Um, yeah. So that's just one of those little things of the trials and tribulations of living in the Philippines, in the Phils. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man. Nosebleed. I thought that was so weird when I first got here. My who ended up being my sister-in-law, she said that to me for the first time, and I'm like, what? Nosebleed? And I was trying to dissect what would that really mean? Your nose is bleeding because you can't understand me? Why would your nose bleed? I'm going to give you a headache or something like that? Nosebleed. All right. So I thought that was funny when I first got here because I didn't understand it, but nosebleed. Yeah. But I get a lot of merit tests in the hood here. People are always I'm good one week and I'm bad the next. It just all depends on how giving I am, I guess. I've done a lot of stuff for these people up in here, and it's Glenda. I just got a message from somebody named Glenda. I don't even know what that is. Philippine, um, like a flag or something. Yeah, man. That wouldn't be bad. Symbol or Sinolog or whatever it is. Yeah, put something up. Yeah, man. I should definitely try to incorporate that into my repertoire. Slap it up on the wall. Be like, yo, I'm flying the colors. 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 Now, that's a good idea. In fact, I even know down in the market I could probably pick something up like that for less than 100 peso. So I should probably do that while I got money. So I just got paid. Sort of. So yeah. I would definitely try to do that. But I'm so inconsistent with the lives, man. Like John here, he's been going nuts with the lives. I don't know if he's still on, but he's been doing a lot of freaking lives. And he got like 50 subs off of it, if my calculations are correct. But then again, I ain't no mathematician, you know what I'm saying? Huh? Oh yeah, what's up? Um, but yeah, you did. I mean, it didn't blow up like you thought, but you still gained some traction. Of course, you do all those funny little shorts too. Um, well, you went on out. You were on live for like 10 hours or some crazy thing like that. I couldn't watch that, man. I mean, I got a kid. I'm good for like a 20-minute video, and sometimes not even that. He gets pissed off at me if I'm watching my phone. Literally, he'll come up and try to bite me and grab on it. He's like, and he's swiping at my phone. 14-hour. Yeah, bro. I mean, if you ain't getting like, some serious subs off of it, that's just too much of a grind. That's just too long, bro. I couldn't do it. I can barely do it an hour, and I'm already like, oh, it's too hot. Look, I'm already sweating, man. I'm already dripping it, ready to go squirt myself with more water. Oh, I bought a new fan. That's right. I should have pointed that fan on me. Dang it. Oh well, too late now. Be too hard to set up, and I don't want to have any dead air for all my fans, you know, all my dedicated watchers right now. Well, I mean, if it's one of those things, you never know, John. If you continue to do it might just be one of those things that it snowballs, and then people expect that you're going to be on some marathon live. But you'd have to be consistent about it, and that'd be a drag trying to be consistent with that. You know what I'm saying? Or at least maybe do like a live, an hour a day or something. Like tone it down. Don't be doing no, you know, 14-hour BS. I don't know. I mean, you're doing better than I am, dude. When I first saw you, I think I was in the 40s and you're in the 20s, and now you're 10 or 12 or 20 above me already. So I've been stuck at 144 for over a week. I ain't down with all that, you know. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I only posted my Manila thing because of the last live stream I was on. People told me that I should just go ahead and try. So I've been sitting here thinking, man, maybe that'll get more views and maybe I'll get some subs off of it. Because I did this other video and I just decided not to post it. That's so hard for me. Like, I can't walk down the street because everybody knows me in Philippines Extremes. I walk down the street and they're all Philippines Extremes, hey bro, and I'm, trying to have some conversation into the camera, and I'm like, where was I? What were they saying? So, I can't be like Calvin, man, I where he can just go, start to finish one thought, no edits, just gift of gab, just straight on through, train of thought, all that. I can't even make it 10 feet without somebody stopping me, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I made this video the other day, and I thought I'm going to go to this coffee shop that I always see, and I wanted to try it. So, dang dogs. And it's always empty. So I'm like, perfect. I'll go there, and I'll cut a video there, uninterrupted. So I go there, and the place was packed. So I tried to cut the video, but, people were... You're a vlogger? You're vlogging? How many subs do you got? And it's funny when they ask you that and you say 140, they're like, Oh, I got 140. Oh, okay. Well, I'll subscribe to you. I think I heard that. I always hear that every time I go out from at least 20, 25 people. I'll subscribe to you. And I come back and I look at my sub count. And I think, maybe they'll subscribe later. But they don't. So, whatever. Yeah, your shorts get views, but not like a ton of views, which is a drag. But again, if you stick with it, I don't know about the SEO stuff. There's that SEO, whatever that means. Maybe you're good at that. Seems like you are. I've looked at your descriptions and stuff. Seems like you know about the SEO stuff, but well, yeah, I thought about having the Philippines Extremes name on this, but I never really liked the Philippines Extremes. People would ask me, especially when I meet them in public, they'd be like, so what do you do that's extreme? And so I had to figure out a way to spin it, and I'd be like, my lifestyle is extreme because a lot of people can't live like locals. when I named the channel before I even came here, because the plan was, Lily and I'm like, when I get there, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. She, that'd be fun. Let's try. So we were going to eat and do like crazy things. Like I wanted to eat like weird bugs and and go to weird places and do weird things that most people don't do and stuff. And but mostly like the weird food kind of thing was our initial idea. And I got here and I'm like, okay, so where do we go to get those big ass tarantula thing looking things? Oh, let's eat those. And that didn't work out. So then, like I said earlier, I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna eat the balut, and I tried the balut, and I got 50 views, and I'm like, man, eating weird food sucks. If I'm not gonna get views, so you know, not very extreme on it. Wasn't very extreme, you know what I'm saying? So I just went, I had a different name for this, but I never posted. I made this right when I got back from Manila, like a month after, because I thought, well, I'll just start it again, and because I was still working on trying to get my other channel back, and I figured that I could get it back, you know. I had no idea that it was just going to be that difficult. Um, but I thought in the meantime maybe I could just have a second channel if that channel got rolling. But I never posted on it. I posted a video I think and I got 4 views. It was me and my kid going to the market or something. But it was a stupid video, and yeah. And I can't remember what name it was. It was something else. And I just finally settled on Ben and Cebu because I'm Ben and I'm in Cebu. But ultimately, eventually, I'm not going to be living in Cebu. I'm going to be living in Masbate. That's where I got my eye on the prize down the line. But that's really, really down the line. Talking like after my buddy goes public with his business and I make some dough, which is not going to be for another 5 years or something, 5.5 years. Still working on all that noise. So then I'd be standing and making a bunch of money because I invested 5K in his. Well, I didn't really invest in it really, but anyways, I got 5K invested in it, and I have 1 share, and when he goes public with it, that 1 share can make me quite a bit of money. Masbate is well, it's in the, I don't know, I think Manila's north from Cebu. I'm directionally impaired when it comes to this place. But if you're headed up towards Manila, Masbate is kind of above Leyte, I think, in the middle of the freaking ocean. North, yeah. So north up there, Masbate. It's its own little island. A lot of people, they go, oh, is that, you know, they think it's another place like Leyte or Bohol or something, but no, it's its own island. But I have a plan for that. When I buy property, I'm buying just a certain type of property that has a certain type of thing that I can do. And Masbate is pretty untapped for that. And Masbate, there's a town in Masbate called Placer Masbate. Okay? Masbate means gold, and so does placer. So gold. Pfft, get out of here, man. That's like shining a bright light on, putting an X on the map and going, Mr. Ben in Cebu needs to be Ben in Masbate. You know what I'm saying? Take my frickin' dredge and high banker and anyways, I'm not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. I'm giving away my secrets. But nobody will remember them in 5 years anyway, so I'm good. But yeah. It's hotter than Hades in here. I did an hour of power, a power hour. But I only had to actually do what? 50 minutes because my buddy over there that's passed out on the couch, he did the first 10 or whatever. So I'll do another 10 before I call it a day or a night. Masbate is 11-hour drive from me. Oh, but you got to take a ferry to get to it, right? Because it's not landlocked, is it? No, it's not landlocked, right? So you drive some, hop on a ferry, and then go to Masbate. Right. You gotta be taking a boat. I don't know how what your plans are long term, John, but you know, if you're gonna buy a property someday or something like that, try to buy something that's got a river on it, a little creek running through it, especially up there in Luzon. Luzon is a hotbed. You got Luzon, you got Masbate, which is lesser known, and then you got areas in Mindanao that are just golden. And that's why I came here in 2014. Was to explore and prospect. They just aren't doing it right here, man. You know, they're going out with putting a hose in their mouth and diving down and having the tunnels collapse on them. That's unnecessary. You throw, you know, you can get a machine that'll do 10 times the amount of processing of that for $500. But see, they don't have the $500, right? You throw down $2K for a bigger machine, and you're moving some dirt. That's what it's all about, moving the dirt. I have a gold panning video that I made in like, I don't even remember, 2011 or something like that, 2012. And it's got over 1.2 million views. That's my claim to fame. But I was in Alaska mining when that all blew up, and I didn't even know that happened. I came back and I didn't even remember how I posted it. Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about somehow hiring a tutor so I could learn more. Because, you know, my wife can teach me some things, but I think I get confused because she's not the greatest at spelling, you know. So if I say, you know, are you saying like T at the end of that word? You know, and then we get kind of confused about it. So I need somebody who's you know, a little bit more I don't know, skilled in that realm. Yeah, mine too kind of gets a little bit like that nowadays. But and up there where you're at, they're speaking Tagalog. Down here, they're speaking Bisaya. There's differences. There's a lot of similarities, but then there's actually some fairly big differences. Like, you know, they say magkano for how much up there, and down here they say tagpila. So, like this and this. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good analogy right there, my bro. Yeah, it's a different. But most people down here know Tagalog, and but it's not really so much in reverse that people up in Luzon know Bisaya. It's more people down here know Tagalog more because of, the movies and stuff are mostly in Tagalog. Um, uh, I think there are like grassroots ones, libraries. Um, when I was in Pangasinan, there were missionaries that started kind of a library, but of course they had their religious bend to it also. But they had regular books in there. But it's more like a volunteer thing. So I don't think there's like a national kind of system for it. No, I don't. I don't think so. Yeah, it definitely would come in handy to know the local dialect. That's for sure. I used an app there for a minute, um, and it was working out. I was learning a little bit, but then all of a sudden, after 30 days, it wanted me to pay. Um, yeah, yeah. Beach of Life is right. They, of course, a lot of countries don't have that kind of thing implemented. You have the public libraries. Public libraries. Man, my cat I think has cancer or something. Tagalog Kurt. I don't know. I don't know him. I'll have to check him out. I don't know Tagalog Kurt. There for a while, there was this one guy that I used to watch who's up in well, he's in Luzon somewhere. I don't know where, but he's like I think he's of in like Middle Eastern descent or something, and there for a while he would put English subtitles up, but he's a foreigner, um, but he wears a wig, like a wig, and he makes himself look homeless, and he'll carry like the rice sack full of like plastic, like he's out gathering plastic, and he'll go up to somebody and he'll be like, "Yo, Ate, can you give me, like just one banana Q or something?" And and then when they do, he like kicks them 5,000 pesos or whatever. But I liked watching those things, but then he stopped doing the English subtitles. So, because it's nice when you can see the English subtitles and then you can hear the words. For me, it's easier to learn that way, because you got both. Okay, those sounds mean this word. That those sounds make that phrase, right? And I guess that's just how my brain works or something. It seemed it was nice, so I liked following that. And then too, watching Filipino movies that are in Tagalog and they have English subtitles. That also helps too. But I don't even have time to watch. I mean, my kid is like, he'll sleep, when he's finally asleep for the night, like he just fell asleep before I came on here. He's going to wake up in 3 hours and be, pounding on my chest as I'm trying to fall asleep. He hasn't slept through the night once since he was born. Not once. Not a single night. Which doesn't mean to say I don't get enough sleep, because what I do is I just take naps. Like, really. I'll go do my crap that I gotta do. Go get some fish. Isda, we call it down here in the Visayas. Forget what y'all call it up there in Luzon and your Tagalog, but down here we call it isda. So I'll go pick up my isda and my veggies and all that jazz, and do the rest of the day. And then he passes out. I'll go check my stuff for about an hour, and then I can't even keep my eyes open, so I'm falling asleep. Um, Yeah, I'll have to check out Tagalog Kurt. But again, if he's not incorporating some way to understand it, then I'll probably lose interest after a while. I don't know. 'Cause that's what it was. I liked watching that other dude, but he stopped translating it. And once then I can kind of understand some Tagalog, but not enough. Not enough to really follow along. But of course, if you do that, you'll learn it. But I just don't got the time or patience for it. You know what I'm saying? He's an ex-marine. Is he like? Is he the one that like gives out tons of cash? Like, like he'll do some game or something like that, and then he'll kick him a bunch of money. Like if you get this, you get 20,000 pesos or something. I don't know if that's the same dude, but and he's got like a huge. Oh no, that's not him. There's this one dude that is foreigner, ex-military, and he can also speak Tagalog. Um, but he just plays games and he just gives out like a ton of money to people. But he's got massive. He's got like 1 million plus subscribers, and he's making bank so he can do that. That's how he got the subscribers. That's how they get them. You're really, and you do that. Are you really being charitable, or are you just doing it because you know it's going to pay off, right? I mean, that's what they do in the States. You got all these people going, "Are you hungry?" And then they'll go up and they'll buy them some food and some shoes and whatever. And that's obviously a niche. You make a ton of dough doing that. I would do it here too if I could speak the language. Lily and I were debating that on Philippines Extremes, but we didn't know how to execute it because she's a pretty shy person. So I didn't think she would, really be that good at it. And we tried one time doing this little kid in Manila, or in Cebu City, and it was kind of hard to do, and it wasn't really flashy and all that crap. So we wouldn't know how to execute it. But if I could speak Bisaya, I could put on a wig or something and act a fool and be like, "Ate, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Go on, go on." And then she gives me something, and I give her 5,000 or whatever. Word, word, word. What you gonna do when it come for you? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, man, yeah, man. That's what's up, Buttercup. So, I think I'm gonna go to bed now. Probably not. Probably gonna go on YouTube and look at how many dang views I got, which is probably up to like 55 by now on my latest video. Maybe I got a whole comment that I can subscribe to, reply to. That'll be fun. And then maybe I've got replies to comments that I left on other people's videos. That's always fun. So then after I do that, then I'll probably play my stupid game that I have on my phone for a little while, and then I'll fall asleep. Word. Anyways, y'all, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good. John and Mr. Beach of Life. Always appreciate you guys. I know you're supporting me, and I know you're only coming on to make the comments because you're trying to support me, and that's freaking awesome. I really appreciate it, and it's not lost on me. It didn't, and I definitely appreciate it, and that's cool, you guys. So thanks, man. It means a lot, and I'll have to buy you a pork stick the next time I see you. Or something. But for real, I mean it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, you guys. So everybody have a good night, and until the next time.